Okay, I think the Veronica probably has oh yes, okay, that's good. I was about to mute Veronica. Okay, I think we okay. Hello everyone, welcome to Academy of Astrology UK Worldscope discussion group, and I'm Rod Chang. Today we have a lot of our colleague joining us to do a little bit of discussion about the coming up eclipse. We have Sharon. Sharon just why Sharon just turn off the camera while I mention her? Okay. Anyway, Sharon will come back. You are not allowed to turn off your camera today. Yeah. Okay. Okay, we have Robyn coming up. Oh. Hello, Robyn.
I've no idea where that time went. I mean,
you just finished a big session. Congratulations.
I know, but it just disappeared, didn't it?
Yeah. And just have some.
Did you see that I sent you an email from Maria Blaquier?
Yeah. I have double checked with Brian. I was just joking with Sharon before this happened. We'll talk about it later. We did send the link, but that probably went to the spam or something. Anyway, so that's okay. Things happen.
Oh, yeah. Goodness me.
Yeah, I would feel sorry for her because if she were there, that would be so interesting. Yeah.
She's tried to catch the talk twice, and twice she's missed it.
Well, I will send her link, the recording stream, so it should be okay. Yes, okay. So today I think we say we're going to talk about the solar eclipse on the coming up, because this would be quite interesting, because usually, I mean, for astrologer, eclipse is one of the important themes, especially for the mundane astrology. I think for the traditional astrologer, I believe, and I think although I am not traditional astrologer, but I know this is a part of a mundane astrology so important, even in a traditional way, because I do read it from the Sharon introduced me the wonderful book, the Crucius Introduction to Astrology. That is amazing. This treasure book.
Which book is that?
What's the book, Sharon?
It's Kaiser Ibn Laban, Laban, and it was translated and edited in 1997 for the Department of, I think, Oriental and African Studies by Michi Yano. And it's the book of introduction to astrology. It's in two parts. One is mundane and then natal. But it is probably the most concise mundane book that I've read. Yeah,
I love it. And luckily, as Sharon mentioned about, because when I first met Sharon say, Rod, have you read that book? Because I heard about it translating into Chinese long time ago.
Wow.
And I went to check it. Yes, it was published, and also I can buy a copy even today on the bookstore. And that was translating in, I think, 12th century in China. And
a mundane book in the 12th century.
Astrology, but a big part is mundane. And
how amazing!
Yeah, so it talked about the English chart and eclipse chart, and how to read it, and how to judge, how to predict, how to forecasting mundane event.
Prediction. Oh my goodness.
We don't go that far. Whatever you want to go, but I have no issue with mundane. In mundane level, I have no issue with use the word predict. But for
I've done a bit of predicting today, so I'm either going to be right or wrong. But you know what? If you don't stick your neck out, you never find out, do you?
Yeah, true. But yeah, so I was like, I really love that book. That book is like a treasure for me, to be honest, and it's amazing. So from that book I know eclipse is part of a mundane technique in the since ancient time, and that is so important. So I think we have this eclipse season. I mean, I think last month we have Benedict Brady talking about eclipses, and she talked about eclipse season is like for her it's like a 36 day around, like 18 day before and 18 day after. And I do agree this is a very intensive time, very intensive time. Hello, Maria. Welcome to unmute yourself. We'll talk
Maria,
about.
I'm so sorry that you missed
Yeah.
No worries. Don't worry about it.
I'm really sorry.
I didn't make too much of a mess of it, did I, Rod, this time?
Oh, well, I will send you the stream. But I'm so happy to see you here.
Oh, what a shame.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
a shame.
It was my mistake. I assumed that the link I had was to that and it was to something else. It's okay. No worries.
Yeah.
What is the time there?
It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
4 o'clock.
Okay. Yeah. I just like still like in a kind of a warm up introduction chat. So this I think the eclipse is kind of at this moment is kind of very intensive for I think most of people join us following the news. Then we know the first things I was just joking with, I shouldn't use the word joking, but yes, we have to a little bit sense of humor about Omicron. Omicron variant. And
the analogy is moronic.
Yes, and it's not only the pandemic, I mean, also the stock market performing terribly, I mean, during this time. It was started, I think I have to say it was started right before eclipse. They started, I think they arrived a little bit a peak point around the 17th November and starting to falling over. But they falling over sharply around this time. Like Dow Jones yesterday was falling, but in the beginning was falling 1,000 points. And if you follow our course, I think Christine Skinner, wow, she is a treasure too. She did remind us, I don't know which she might use prediction, but she did remind us this is the intensive time, especially with that Mars opposite Uranus things. I couldn't give too much because that's a very important content. So yes, even for financial astrologer, they see at this moment is a little bit tricky and kind of need to be very, very careful, especially around eclipse. I think she also mentioned it. She does show us chart. How many years ago? I think it's 20 years ago, I think. She did show with the lunar cycle. That's why she mentioned Robyn's talk.
Also, don't forget that I did that 20th of October. Full moon on the New York Stock Exchange.
Exactly.
And what I'm finding with these sub periods, that every time that 27, doesn't matter what month it is, that 27 degrees of that full moon, every time it comes up, something will occur in relation to that.
Yes. Yeah, and that is kind of a very, very interesting. So we have a lot of things not include the political. I mean, well, there's a lot of things going on. I mean, I think last time in Robyn's group, that is a wonderful group. And then I did mention about on the lunar eclipse day, there's also the Venus conjunct fixed star Nunki, and the Mars, after the Mars was conjunct with Zuben as Canubi. Really conjunct. I don't use this word conjunct easily. They are really conjunct each other, to be honest. So
and what did that fixed star represent?
Well, depend on you use the traditional way to explain it or more positive, like Benedict Brady's way to explain the Zuben as Canubi. If please correct me, Maria, because I know Maria is also expert of fixed stars. But if I remember what Vivian Robson first he mentioned the Ptolemy give Ruben Eskenubi Mars Saturn nature. If I still remember, I'm very bad with this because I don't really go to traditional way. So I have every time I have to double check if I'm right about the traditional view of the fixed star with a link with planets. So in this case, this one, Ruben Eskenubi has a little bit bad name, but I mean, in another way, is if it has Mars nature, when it conjunct with Mars, shouldn't be that bad. I remember Bonatti talking about the hidden helper. If the planet conjunct or meet with a fixed star, share the same nature, then this fixed star will be a helper rather than a hinder, rather than something going to cause more problem. But still, this fixed star, Vivian Robson, give a very kind of a little bit negative, bloodish, with a murder, with death, with kind of a little bit bloodish things. And I don't know. We did see that they have few things happen. Like in Europe, there is I think in United States, there was the day happened, the car run into the Wisconsin.
42 people injured.
Yeah, 42 people injured.
And I don't, maybe 4 or 5 dead. I can't remember.
Mm-hmm. And in Europe, there I remember 2 things. Is Bulgaria has the yes, I think it's Bulgaria has a fire, a big fire, huge explosion of fire, and another place. Also Serbia, I think, or another country has the car crash problem, huge car crash problem too.
And and could you pin the degrees from that particular?
I think it is
onto those countries.
I haven't
You haven't done that.
I haven't done that bit. Because
it'd be interesting to have a look at that.
I agree. That's usually things need to check there why this country has this kind of effect, why they receive this. I think that's part of the process when we do the mundane study, go a little bit deeper. But let's go to should I put chart up? Also, this is the London's chart, but we can always share different chart. Okay, so let me share the solar eclipse chart. So could we see it?
Yeah.
So this is a solar eclipse on the 4th of December, and I think although it's not totally it's still partial. I think it's still partial, but we still couldn't see it. It only happened around the South Pole, I think. It's still near the South Pole. So not many people going to see it. So in the traditional way, I think maybe Maria or Sharon can share this. If a solar eclipse, we couldn't see it.
Antarctica.
Yeah, Antarctica, sorry.
That's what Maria, yes, I remember that now.
Yeah. So if we couldn't see it, would you consider it?
No, I call it a moon on steroids. And
I like that word.
I think any eclipse, when you can't see it, it's more potent, but unless it is visible and puts out the light of whichever luminary the eclipse is about, it doesn't count. And indeed, in all the traditional texts, it doesn't count unless it's visible. But as I said on Tuesday, the thing is with this new moon eclipse, that the moon is actually at perigee, and perigee is when the moon is closest to the Earth, and this is when we get more gravitational pull from the atmosphere. So we will get higher tides for countries which have a tidal flow. And if you have any weather event, it will be more, it'll be stronger. And as we looked at the volcanic eruptions, because there's such a tight pull of the planets in one area of the chart, and the moon is at perigee, there's likely to be more explosive events. And we can say explosive because this particular new moon eclipse is in a fire sign, and it's girded traditionally by Mars in Scorpio and Jupiter square in Aquarius.
Yeah, I mean, they may off a little bit off about this eclipse, because I want to say Sharon's talk on Tuesday was fantastic, and then on that group we benefit so much. So Sharon, if you have time next time, I want to invite you to do this on YouTube. That was just share what you can.
Maybe wait and see what happens at the eclipse.
Yeah, and then she can add it up. Sharon's research on that volcano things was mind blowing. To be honest, if I know many people didn't see it here, but that is fantastic. Yeah, Maria, would you share the your view about eclipse?
Well, just for a bit.
Yeah,
no,
thank you.
I also noticed that it's at perigee, and I give great importance to that. But I also noticed that it has a great declination. The moon is going to be out of bounds.
Yes.
So I wonder what that means. I was wondering. Wondering what that meant. The moon being out, maybe in terms of political figures or political. I don't know, politicians, but I was really wondering. I was there on Tuesday, so I listened to Sharon talking about the moon with perigee, which is fascinating. But I wonder about that out of bounds moon, really. I'd love to hear your opinions on that.
Do you want me to say something about it, Rod, or are you going to say something about out of bounds?
You start.
Well, the out of bounds importance, I think, was brought out by Katie Boer, and it's spelled Katie Boher or something. And she said that when a planet's out of bounds, I think she was referring to Venus in this instance, but she said it loves passionately but unwisely. And basically, when a planet is out of bounds, what it means is, and the moon has a regular cycle of going out of bounds, it's when any planet goes above the ecliptic, above the sun's degrees. And they have a different perspective on life. So if you individualize each planet, they will have a different perspective, a different take. So when you see Venus out of bounds, she can be a little, shall we say, promiscuous. She's not afraid to go after what she wants, and she won't care about the consequences. Whereas if she's in her normal sort of declination, she will be a little more circumspect about showing her knickers in public. And I think with the moon is the queen of the night. And of course, in this instance, the moon is hiding the light of the sun, or can hide the light of the sun if it's the solar eclipse. Oh, that's great. That's great.
For help people who don't know what is out of a bound, I just use the graphic ephemeris to generate the graphic. So now you can see here, it's like in the middle part is 0 degree declination. And then, so we can see the planet move on the declination. So, and I think it's from last year, 2020 April, the moon stepped into the, Robyn just talked about metonic cycle of the out of bound cycle. So from last year, from last April, every month that we will have twice moon out of bound when it reached the north declination and the south declination. So that's why this we just talk about the this new moon, solar eclipse. Moon will reach the out of bound area, this area. So this is a 26, and here is the 24. So on the eclipse day, this is not like, as Maria say, it's not only perigee, but also out of bound. And yes, Sharon explained it very clearly about out of bound moon. I think I just added up. Just imagine when you drive. I particularly I don't drive. Just when you drive on the motorway, but out of bound is not motorway, then you will get that kind of bumpy road. That's how I image out of bound, because the definition of out of bound is like the north 23, 22, 25, and the south 20, 22, 20. Wait a minute, 23, right? 23, 25 or 22. My mind, 23, 25, right? Is the where the south declination of the sun, and the north declination of the sun. 22, yes, 22. So that was this area. This area is all the planet move around, and then but when it's out of this declination, is out of sun's control. Some people say that. So without supervision, or you could just think you have a teenagers, but the parents home. Hello.
Maverick. Yeah, it's a bit of a maverick.
Yeah, so I don't want to use the nasty word, but I will say they just like a little bit of get crazy or wild teenagers when parents not at home. They're kind of going to do. I'm going to do whatever I like. So this is a little bit, added up with the out of bound. So this means with perigee and out of bound, then if this eclipse going to manifest, that would be pretty interesting. Could go wild. That's a try not to make too much prediction, but the phenomenon could describe like this. And at this moment, I think we also have the Mars Neptune. Sorry for Sharon. We all decide every time we mention about the outer planet.
You have to say sorry to Sharon.
Going to tease her, and she enjoy it. That's why we continue doing that. That's it. If she don't enjoy it, we were just like very careful. But she enjoy it, so we always like sorry, Sharon. But sorry.
That's the thing with having a sad rising. I don't care.
Yeah.
But
okay.
The other thing, adding to what Maria is saying,
yeah,
is that both Venus and Mercury are out of bounds. Mm. So everything to do with Venus and Mercury, the houses that they rule. So in this instance, it's the 9th house of law. So we can see changes in the law. We can see the 10th house changes, not necessarily changes in government, but things not happening how they should or how we expect them to happen. And partners sort of misbehaving because okay, I'll stop.
No, it's not. No. I just been noting with me. I have out of bound moon, and I also have out of bound Mars in my natal chart.
I didn't. Do you know? I didn't know that, Rod.
I do. So I couldn't resist the chipping because I'm going to say something very naughty. When you say change government or government act differently, they did act very differently this time. When COVID just started, we will be fine. That's okay. Fine. No problem. No lockdown. No this and no that.
2 weeks to flatten the curve.
And now what happened? They immediately ban flights. And second, they say everyone come to UK need to do PCR test.
Yeah.
We have the same government as last year. No, that's why when Sharon said that, I'm thinking, oh yeah, they are. We have a different government now, darling.
Yeah, they're behaving differently. Obviously, they haven't made enough money out of last year, so they've got to impose these PCR because Venus, she's out of bounds and she's in the house of money. And she's in Capricorn. So it's going to be material benefit. There's got to be material gain. Sorry, I'll shut up, Rod. Sorry.
No. You're welcome. That's okay. It's Sharon's opinion, not mine, not my school's.
We love it. We just want. We just don't stop. It's great.
I think everyone can express what they think. There's no.
The thing is, of course, as well, is that that Mercury is in its fall, isn't it? And so what's going to come of that? I don't know. I mean, Mercury also. I mean, Mercury rules the ninth and the seventh of our partners, etc. I mean, there's lots of issues going on with France at the minute, isn't there?
Yes, indeed. Yes, just right before this Omicron things, Boris Johnson just write a lot of email to love letter to Macron. Yes, and then Macron just like, that's all right. You love me so much. I put you on the side.
He cancelled all the meetings and everything. Macron.
Yeah. But I think he's kind of busy too, because next year there's an election. It's the next year, I think, in France. And at this moment, he's also been fried by, his political enemy at this moment. So, and if you remember, I think around the June, July, Lin Bell talk something about Macron in France. The situation would be not very friendly to him. No. So that's also another thing. He has to handle this situation with UK nicely. If not, he may become an unpopular president soon. I think that's another thing.
I think he's pretty unpopular already.
Yeah, and well, I mean, what I see is the Mars square, like Sharon said, Mars square with Jupiter. Then this could be, spray something out in a hard way, I think, and also, well, us also try with Neptune from the modern view. Neptune could be, weakness and weaken the immune system. That means this virus could very easily spread out, and we got news. And it was kind of really fits into this kind of symbolic speaking, I have to say. Then another thing is the Saturn Uranus getting tighter. It's getting tighter. This is the last time they're going to form the exact square, and this is a major theme of this year. So I think because I joined Robyn's group since early this year, and I did talk about this square are related to two things. One is financial situation. And every time they square from January, there is what a GameStop stock market things. And also we have a market for that time. And in June, it happened again. And now we're going to see. Yes, hello. I think Maria just raised her hand and said, oh, okay. Maria, you can feel free to unmute yourself, all right?
I've raised, sorry. Julia has raised her hand before.
Oh, hello, Julia.
Oh, okay. So I wanted to ask, what do you think about, what about the fact that Jupiter is the dispositor of that new moon? So isn't that a good thing? We see that Jupiter is no longer a peregrine. It has a term, and it's a benefic. So, and I was curious also about the fact that the new moon is conjunct Mercury, but Jupiter disposes of this. So I was thinking maybe regulations on, Twitter and social media and that sort of thing. But I think that Jupiter is a good thing, that this is an eclipse that has a benefic as its ruler. And that benefic isn't peregrine any longer.
So your view is like this Jupiter will help the situation.
Yes.
Yes.
I think I mean that Jupiter is receiving Mars from a superior square, so Mars is very strong here. But that Jupiter is nonetheless, that Jupiter is the ruler of the eclipse. So I was thinking, I don't know what that could be. I'm even thinking, you know, like Blue Origin and that sort of thing.
Could be, you know, could be.
Yes. Things related maybe to electricity, new ways of power. But I'm optimistic about this because of that Jupiter. But I don't know if I'm the only one.
No, I do agree with you. And the other thing that I think is quite positive is that although I said that the planets, the traditional planets, are sandwiched between this square, Mars actually is very strong because he's in triplicity and he's in sect because he's above the horizon in a nocturnal chart. I mean, it is only just, but nonetheless, he is actually in his own sign. And in Placidus, he's in the 11th house, the house of good fortune.
Sorry, okay.
Which and Jupiter's in the terms of Saturn, but Jupiter is in triplicity in Aquarius, and the 11th house signifies the Privy Council in the UK. So it's the exchequer, it's what supports the government, which supports Venus. And of course, Venus is in the exaltation sign of Mars. I hope I'm not going too fast for those who perhaps aren't quite as enthusiastic. I think I do get carried away because I love doing this, and I love doing it with a group of people where we've all got the same standard of knowledge. So, and Mars is also in sextile to Venus. So the benefics are caught up in this eclipse. So I don't see it as bad in any way. But what I do see is the fact that Venus rules the 6th house and she's in the 2nd and the 10th. So there are issues over what traditionally in the English mundane is the civil service, the armed forces, includes the NHS, the government, the Privy Council. Well, yeah, yes, they're all they sort of come under civil servants, really. The army, all the forces come under the 6th house. So I think the fact that Venus and Mars are in sextile also is mitigating the fact that we in this country do not have an eclipse as such. We just have a very potent new moon that could lead to changes over, certainly by when we get to the Capricorn ingress. I should think we will see some changes then, but I don't see it as malefic. I don't see it as the country being totally disease-ridden. Not at all.
Is the fixed star Rastaban conjunct the moon and the sun?
On the 12th degree, let me check.
1158.
If it's 1158,
Mars impulsive, picking up the out of bounds nature again. Honourable, influential, good for astrology, government, writing, sports, finance, accidents, wounds, blindness, criminality. That covers everything.
Yep. Yeah, interesting. So
you see what Maria's written, Sharon?
Yeah.
Venus is slowing down to station.
Yes, I think the Venus is going to, I think it's a retrograde soon, right? In around the winter solstice.
I think it's going to be retrograde for like 4 months or something, isn't it?
Let me check ephemeris.
It's going to be retrograde for a very long time. I know that. Or maybe it's going to be in Capricorn for 4 months. I can't remember.
Yes. Yes. Retrograde from 19th of December until, no, not really for 4 months, until end of January, 29th. Until 29th of January. Yes, but it's true that for this time, Venus is slowing down. Venus is slowing down. Yes. Yes. Well, I was a little bit distracted because I also see we have a few people watching on the YouTube and give us a feedback. I was like, oh, I'm really sorry. Just like, okay. Some people ask, what's that about Jupiter triplicity in Aquarius, please? Sharon or Maria?
Maria can go.
No, well, I use this is a night chart. No, I thought I said it was in term. So in Aquarius, we have Saturn, Mercury, and Jupiter as the participating triplicity ruler, right? I tend to use only the sect ruler, so I would have used Mercury here.
Okay.
I don't know, Sharon, you use the three of them?
I always consider the three of them because the Jupiter participates, so he's helping both Saturn and Mercury in the charts. When I'm looking at age issues, when I'm doing natal charts, then I will take each triplicity ruler as a third of life. In mundane, I still tend to look at them as governing separate parts, so 4 months each planet. But in the main, if you go, Jupiter helps both Mercury, who's in his sign. So Jupiter is going to be very well disposed to Mercury. Mercury is not so damaged by being in Sagittarius. And because Jupiter and Saturn are together, Jupiter is actually under the auspices of Saturn. So Jupiter has to do as Saturn tells him, but he'll still sort of sneak a little bag of sweets to Mercury.
Yeah. Yes. Sorry. So I think we have this kind of this chart, and this 12 degree is quite interesting. If I remember correctly, Sibley chart for United States, Sibley chart has the, I think, 12-ish degree of rising, right? If I remember, but because my memory is a little bit bad, let me double check, because I think Sibley chart probably have that 12 degree Sag rising. And Anna say Mars is in anti-section of Saturn with 2 degree orb. Anti-section. Go. Yep.
Yeah, I would normally only take exact degree, not 2 degrees.
Okay. Yes, I just double check if there's one chart for US is the use the 5 p.m. chart, then the rising is on the 12 Sagittarius 21 degree. And that means this solar eclipse is right on that ascendant. Yeah. So, well, this could be something for US. Should we check their eclipse chart in US?
Yeah.
If we are interesting.
I think it might be interesting to do it on astrocartography, maybe.
Oh, yeah, we will go that. Yes. So here, this is the same time I just relocate to. I use White House, so we can see. Well, Venus is on the angle, so I will give it a pass. But we can notice the huge second house, very busy, but it's no harm. But I mean, this could means their financial and economic could be what they're going to focus for coming up season. And then I think especially if we use the Pluto, then Pluto is returned in US chart, and that means a lot of things for us. I mean, it's not only about their financial or banking, but also about their resource or a Federal Reserve and the whole economic system and whole financial system for United States could be, I don't need to say disaster, but Pluto is about crisis and the rebirth. So that would be some, important framework going to need to dig out everything and tidy it up, polish up, and put it back again. So I usually use this way rather than say what's going to happen or going to have a total disaster. Well, I don't go that far.
So it's a very interesting date, isn't it? 22/02/2022.
Okay.
That's 22/02/2022.
Okay.
It's a spiritual number.
I see. All right. I was thinking, what are you studying? Where are you going there? Yes.
I think the FTSE is likely to drop massively because the North Node ruler's in the second house. Maybe that's tied up with Biden being ill.
Well, it's one possibility. I would say it's one possibility because I think with solar eclipse, with lunar eclipse on his sun, that is already something quite important to him, and that could be possible, But I think, this so far, what I think is, compared with other chart we see last year, this chart is very gentle to them. That's what I say. That's what I think, because from the last English chart to solar eclipse chart, when every time you see the chart in US, you just like, ooh, that Mars on the angle or whatever on the angle, you're just like, oh my God. But now you see the Venus on the angle, I probably just like could be gentle. Could be a little gentle. But Sharon, maybe say, have you seen that 8th house? So, Sharon, do you have any comment about this chart in US?
No, I think really you sort of covered it. The fact that it is going to be about the country's finances, and with Venus in the 4th, the end of the matter ruling the 8th, and the 1st, and the 1st. So it's issues over other people's finances, and again, it comes down to land issue, doesn't it? Capricorn is the sign bar none of material assets. I know Taurus is beautiful assets, but Capricorn is actually the earth, the land. It has more significance than Taurus, and I think again the fact that she's ruling the 8th of the assets of others, and is the
debt,
first house ruling. Well, yes, it can be taxation, can't it, of other entities that are outside America,
or exchange rates
with other countries. Yes. Because if they, the petrol dollar is sort of died.
I'm just wondering with the North Node in the 8th, if it could be some occurrence that occurred somewhere else in the world that had a knock-on effect on America, such as some major event occurring like Evergrande or something like that in China.
I mean,
having a knock-on effect on the financial situation in
Maria?
America.
Yes, I was thinking, since all are in the 2nd and they are disposed by Jupiter in the 5th of the financial. Well, I was thinking something related to Bitcoin and all those kind of coins, because we have Jupiter in Aquarius, that's electricity.
In the house of speculation.
In the 5th of the exchange, I don't know what you call it. It disposes of all those planets in the 2nd. So it could be something related to that. And also that is South Node at 1 degree of Sag. It's been there it's been stationing there at 1 degree of Sag since October. So that degree becomes important, you know. Since October, we have, if we use the true node, it goes from direct to retrograde, always at 1 degree of Sag for the last 2 months. So it should mean something. And it's also disposed by that Jupiter in the 5th, in the sign of electricity. I think something related to that, to Bitcoin and
it is very interesting because I keep an eye on financial market the last couple of days, and the first was a Dow Jones falling over, and everyone's first reaction was like, okay, when Dow Jones fall, everyone went to US dollar, gold, and Bitcoin. Very interesting. Few hours after, gold price falling down, Bitcoin falling down sharply, 9% from, I think, 52,000 to something like 49,000. That was a sharp fall. So, Maria, I think this could be something else continuing. And I agree, because I think Christine Skinner also mentioned something like this between the currency and Bitcoin, crypto. There is something struggling between the two, because I think Saturn-Uranus square, Saturn-Uranus aspect are usually related related because when they are created in 2009, it was the Saturn-Uranus opposition. So from the financial and the modern mundane astrology view, crypto coins are kind of related to Saturn Uranus things, but I like the things you say about Jupiter in Aquarius. That's another electricity and also digital wealthy. I think that could be in a traditional view about it, because Jupiter is wealthy. It's about money and fortune, and then in Aquarius side, in the air with electricity, that is kind of something. Thank you. Yeah. So we do see this one. If anyone want to add more comment about this chart or any other place you want to have a look, if not, I will suggest go to the fun bit about the map. Should we go to map?
Let's have a look at the astrocartography.
Yeah, because we only have another 15, but we got enough time. Let's go to the astrocartography. Yeah. Okay, here I just added up the solar eclipse, about this eclipse, so everyone can see it's really happened around Antarctica, and then I don't know. Maybe South Hemisphere can see a little bit. I don't know. Maybe not. Should be right. Should be able to see it. I think should be able. So this could mean, well, I mean the South America and the New Zealand, and I think a little bit about Australia can see it. So they maybe will receive those, influence more than other place. That's the first things we can add it on. Then the second things I just noticed in Asia. I just see, what is this one? I think it's Pluto. Yes, this is Pluto around the center of China, Vietnam, and Indonesia. And we know these two countries, Vietnam and China, has the dispute about the territory and the sea. So this could be bring up for, coming up things. Well, I think we have Turkey, Uranus MC line. I think so. Yeah, Uranus MC. That means very easy. Next, on 11th of December, I have a course on it about how to read the astro map on the mundane astrology. But the very basic things I can do, I can show you here. If I just move these things a little bit away, is what what does that mean when Uranus line, when Uranus IC line is past this area? This software I use is very interesting because I can draw a relocate chart around this line, and you can see. That means if you have line path there, that means that planet is on angle. That's it. Very simple. Very, very simple. So what's the orb you're going to use? I don't know. Ask yourself what kind of orb you want to use for a chart for planet on angle. Then you use how many degree. That's my idea. So this is like around Turkey. The Uranus is right on 11 degree and IC conjunct with IC. And at the same time, you have Venus on the ascendant. So we call this parent. So 2 planets on the angle. Okay. So this means this area, I think, would be a little bit. I mean, if we know the financial news for Turkey is the recently, the Turkish lira and I think Turkish government have some problem with exchange rate, and the Turkish lira's exchange rate was like falling sharply. And the Venus with Uranus, that's a kind of a shocking with, you know, financial or benefit. That could be something quite, I think, worth us to keep an eye on it. But I think here, this, if I enlarge it, let me show it. Sharon would be very interesting on this one.
Is this picking up La Palma?
Yes, indeed. Neptune. I know Sharon don't use Neptune. Maybe, but no. It's not about Neptune. I'm going to say it's the eclipse. It's right on horizon for that area. So
Wow.
if I use the relocate wheel, you can see, let me presume La Palma is here. This interesting, this chart, this map didn't show La Palma. La Palma is here.
Where is it? Move the thing around so I can see.
Here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, La Palma is here. So you can see, I draw a relocate chart. You can see Moon is right on horizon and the Neptune is on the descendant. So this is the...
Well, Neptune rules gases and things like that, doesn't it? So
I agree. So but also, I mean, mythologically speaking, in the mythology, Neptune is the one who caused huge earthquake.
oh my God, and Neptune rules tsunamis.
So yes, so I mean, could be a hint, could be a worry. We should keep an eye on it. The situation could be gentle, then that means the volcano ash and the toxic gas still going on for a while. But the worst scenario is what we all heard about it. That's why we worry. Sharon keep looking about La Palma. Is the worst scenario is scientists did say there is a possibility. We don't know how big or how small. Let's just say there is a possibility to cause huge tsunami. And the people always heard about that and get a little bit panic. And it was quite interesting because when I first heard about that theory, I was kind of wow, God, I would never want to go to that place. And look how I fall in love with La Palma. Now I care this place so much. Really, to be honest, I love the island. I really love the island. So yes, I'm a little bit worried when I see the eclipse chart.
I would stay away for a while, Rod, if I was you.
I will. I will. Yes, when I look at this chart, I just worry and I just hope and pray nothing serious, to be honest, would be as gentle as just toxic gas. That's it. That's how I think about it. And let me close this, and then let's see other place. So let's see a little bit about this area then. Sorry. Because we know, now we know this area are more likely to be affected. So we can see the, Mars line is quite close to the, Buenos Aires. I think, if I remember, Maria, You're from there, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So the solar eclipse, like in Argentina, in Buenos Aires, has a Mars ascendant.
Yes.
And what do you think? What it related? What it will related for you?
Well, can I talk about another eclipse first?
Oh yes, please. Yes, please.
Robyn will be interested. On the 14th of December last year,
yeah,
the eclipse, the solar eclipse was visible in Patagonia.
Yes.
Argentina, Chile and Argentina. That was on the 14th of December. Mid-September, 9 months later, we had a uprest in that area because of false, I would say, local people trying to, saying that the land belonged to them originally. So they got in arms and tried to get back their land and started burning properties, etc. That was 9 months after the eclipse, and that was in Chile and in Argentina, but on the area of the eclipse. So I was really impressed by that, and I wanted Robyn to know about that. And well, here we are having in Argentina, we've just had elections, and the government lost. And in December they're going to have to. A new parliament is going to take over, and that's going to be really very traumatic.
Okay.
And also, for instance, talking about the eclipse in Sag, as from yesterday, we've been reduced the possibility of buying airplane tickets.
Oh my God!
The country, yes. So I think that's really that's related to that eclipse. The government is just desperate to cut freedom, populism. So anyway, it's a sad story. So I'd rather not speak about my country.
Sorry about that. Yeah. I think I think globally government is trying to. I mean, I don't need to go there. I think everyone knows about that. Globally, these things is coming up. Yes,
it's all coming to a head, isn't it?
Yeah.
And my feeling is that there's going to be a huge blow up all around the world everywhere, but it's going to be difficult, but it'll pass, I think, quite quickly.
Yeah, I also noticed the Saturn. Saturn was there. Saturn was right on IC. So that's why it totally fits into what Maria says. You've been been limited to buy the airplane ticket to leave country. Saturn on IC, they hold you down. They like stay here, stay home. How fascinating about astrology. But what kind of interesting or worry me is Pluto IC line go through another side of Latin America around Chile and all this area.
Chile has elections as well. It's already presidential elections, and now they're going to go on a second round because they got the same amount of, very similar amount, percentages of votes. And it's between a radical left-wing candidate and a radical
wow, that's extreme.
Which is the better bet?
Yeah, so that's going to happen soon. I think around the eclipse. I think it's going to be around the eclipse, the second round of elections.
Okay, then that we should keep an eye on it. Thank you, Maria. Yeah, and also Venus is also there. I hope this gentle Venus can, calm everyone down, or just walk behind.
Rod, may I add something?
Yes, of course.
Yes, regarding the line of Venus over Peru.
Yes,
we also have problems here with the current president, which is not very savvy in political affairs. So it is expected to expose the president, and if it happens, there will be a woman as president.
Oh, interesting.
And the Venus line is there. Of course, more things will happen as it's a long process to have the vacancy of the president. But anyway, there are many struggles here about if the president is going away, maybe a woman will be president.
That is very...
Anna, where are you, Anna?
I am from Lima, Peru.
Oh, Lima, Peru. I've got a friend there. I must put you in touch.
It could be when Mars gets to the 12th degree of Sagittarius, which I think is the very end of December, that Mars will act as the trigger for a lot of these events. So I don't know how that ties in with Anna and Maria's country policy with the timings.
Yes. And the charts of Peru and Argentina are very similar. So some processes are there are some historical bonds between our both countries, but at the same time, some transits triggers things in similar effects.
Yeah. That's the end of December, Sharon.
Yeah, just found my ephemeris.
We all noticed. Everyone. So
we're all sitting there with our ephemeris.
Well, this show people how astrologer work. When astrologer amazing something, all the astrologers like quick ephemeral.
I mean, this is the wonderful thing, isn't it, about technology? I mean, I really hate technology because I'm so rubbish at it. But I mean, the way we can all get together and have a discussion and share ideas is only going to help all of us to learn so much more.
Yes, indeed.
And hopefully to improve the level of astrology, really, because we've got so much. I mean, when I think of the old conferences with just the same old endless talks about the same old thing.
You know what I like from Robyn's group and to here, I think Maria and Anna and I have to say myself, we bring the very different view from all around the world. What is pity is like the time zone in Asia now is there 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning. We couldn't have all the astrologer from Australia and New Zealand or Asia join us. If not, that would be more fun. But hey, we can have them next time. But it is very interesting. Like I mean, how often you're going to hear astrologer from Latin America to talk to you about situation, because everyone is focused on. Let me be very for ourselves is Eurocentric. Or
and I think the other wonderful thing is that we all have different background, and we all have different understanding and experiences, so we can share. We're learning from each other all the time.
Agree. Yes,
it's really, really brilliant. I'm loving it.
Yes, thank you, everyone. I think today, I mean, thanks, Maria and Anna. That was a fantastic to show us how this actually is going to affect in the area, because also have a few elections going on that time. And for us, we also care about La Palma. I hope really the situation will not get worse. There's a tendency, there's a potential, but they hope the best, to be honest.
Yeah, I think looking at the location of the volcano, there's a vast amount of lava now going into the sea, which is warming the sea, which will then, of course, change the winds, change the climate.
Yeah.
But I think even if that volcano did erupt badly, I don't think it's close enough to cause a tsunami.
That's what I'm hoping. It's a long way down the coast, isn't it? It's a very long way.
If it happens, I really don't want to go that side because it's going to scare everyone out. Because I think I watched that program. I was like, oh no!
Isn't it around there where Atlantis was meant to be?
There are a few places. Some people say Atlantis.
I think that Atlantis was meant to be located around.
I hope so. Some people say that, and some people say it's in the Greek near Tenerife. Not near Tenerife. Near what? Near Santorini. Sorry, Tenerife. I keep talking about Tenerife because I would just cancel my tickets.
Can I just say, any of you, if you're interested in joining our Mundane group, you're all really welcome. So
I should post
You have to send me your email so that I can send you the link.
So Robyn, do you mind give everyone your email? Is Robyn at
robyn@robynray.com.
Robyn@robynray.com. I will post this on should I post this later?
No, you put it now and then they've got it. It's very easy to remember.
Yeah, okay. Yes, here. And for people on the YouTube, I will post it later, okay? Okay, thanks everyone. I think we have just 1 hour, but it's so interesting. And thanks, Anna. Yeah.
Next time I do this talk, Maria, I'll send you a link. But in the meantime, Rod will send you the recording.
Okay.
And I'll send you the PowerPoint. I'm sorry that you missed it.
No worries. It must have gone to my spam folder. Okay.
I'm really, really sorry. Yeah, but I'm so glad everyone make it. Thank you, Anna. Thank you, Maria. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you,
Lovely to see you all.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you. Be well.
Bye.
Bye.